Flat abs and strong back hack part 3. Welcome everybody, it's Jason Barlow, RMT. I'm going to redo that one actually. Flat abs and strong back hack part 3. Hi and welcome everybody, it's Jason Barlow, RMT, and I'm here today as your therapist and as your coach to help you transform any stress, tension, and pain into health, happiness, and vitality. So a burning question that I've certainly been asked over the years, I've asked it myself and asked other therapists and trainers, is how necessary is it to do a traditional sit-up, lay flat on the ground, knees bent? You remember that one? We used to have to do them in school, right? And it became more like tuck the chin. That's good enough for my sit-up. It's almost like doing the push-up with my hands. Okay, I'm starting to go down, but actually it's more my neck projecting forward for a push-up. So my answer is this: no, you don't. You can get away quite comfortably without ever having to do a formal, traditional sit-up. How would you like that? How would you like to continue to do your training but not actually do any sit-ups, but get a stronger abdominal muscles, stronger back at the same time, stronger core overall? There's a lot to be said about a method of approach of isolating certain body parts for the purpose of strengthening and obviously isolating that body part to concentrate on it. But ultimately, that is not at all how we function. Maybe there's the odd exception to that, but typically 99% of the time, you are functioning in a very calibrated, coordinated, holistic, multi-joint, multi-muscle pattern on a daily basis, whether it's reaching up for something into the cupboard or bending down to put on your shoe or chasing after the kids or going up the stairs, carrying something or someone, or putting on a backpack or walking to the bus, sitting down into your vehicle. We're not robotic in that sense now, unless you've got some kind of pain or injury going on. Then it becomes quite robotic and you identify, wow, I didn't realize how much this body part, this muscle area was involved in doing this, or this. Classic one is when the rib head is not sitting properly in the spine and somebody coughs or sneezes, it produces a very sharp pain. And then you start to recognize how involved those joints are in the ribs to the spine in breathing and in obviously more violent type of expression with sneezing and coughing. So I just want you to have that in your mind. We're not designed to be isolated patterns in movement. It's more an integrated fashion of movement. And that's why you can safely get away without doing a formal sit-up on the ground. Am I saying, therefore, eliminate them forever? That's up to you. I'm just educating you on why you could or why you couldn't. You have options, essentially. But I'm a huge advocate of recognizing if I lay on the ground right now and sit up, how does that relate to a daily pattern of movement? And think about that for a moment. I've got a couple in my head, but how does a sit-up from a flat ground sitting up, how does that relate to a daily movement that you might do? And traditionally, all of us, if we have use of our upper body, it would be getting out of bed. That would be the closest thing. But you're getting out of bed and you're swinging the legs and you're integrating the shoulders and your head's coming up and then you're actually sat fully upright. That in itself is enough of a sit-up in that type of pattern. The next one might be if you're playing a contact or a sport. Most sports are contact these days, but a sport whereby you end up on the ground, right? Soccer, rugby, basketball. Two of those athletes complain a little bit more than the other one when they get knocked to the floor. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying watching rugby these days a little bit more than I am watching basketball, unfortunately, because of the nature of the drama that revolves around being taken to the ground and the flopping fouls and so forth. I don't have any time for that. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But if an athlete is knocked to the ground, they have to get up. There's a little bit of a sit-up there. But again, it's not just a straight sit-up. They might be rotating their body, twisting, adding in the arm movement and knee jerk and knee patterns of movement as well. So I just want you to have that in mind. We are not designed to specifically isolate, But there is room for isolating in the sense of rehabilitating, reconditioning certain muscles to excite them and stimulate them and get them back on board with the whole integrated pattern that we're actually aiming for. So that's the purpose of this exercise that I'm sharing with you, and I have been talking about, brewing the last 3 weeks for you. And today I'm focusing in on this particular pattern. It's called the transversus abdominus. That's the muscle that we're focusing on. It's like a natural corset, and when you breathe correctly, you're actually engaging this muscle. So if you go down below into the description, you'll see there's actually 2 links. One is for the YouTube video, and also my blog. Now, if the YouTube video is not in that as a separate link, you just go to the blog, and it's definitely within there. It's embedded because I'm looking at it right now. So you can just click on that and it will come up with me narrating the actual exercise for you. I must warn you, I am shirtless on this video for the purpose of showing you the mechanic of this very muscle. You'll see how it behaves when I take a deep abdominal breath. You see how my abdomen essentially is expanding, and I'm on an all fours posture on the ground, so it's traveling downward toward the ground. And that's the expansion that comes with this relaxation of the transversus abdominus. And then as I exhale and I contract this muscle, it's what we call hoop tension. It's essentially constricting and flattening the abdominal wall. So that's why if you strengthen this muscle, your abs will become flatter in appearance. You can reduce that distension in the abdominal region as well. Now, coupled with that, you've obviously got to start exploring your foods and diet, and gluten and dairy are big ones, sugar, high sugar diets. Those are the ones that will add to more bloating in the abdomen. But nevertheless, this particular muscle will help to reduce the expansion, if you will, due to bloating and distension of the abdominal organs. This muscle is going to help to massage those organs and actually help you digest a lot better too. Now, when you do this exercise, as I narrate through the video, I would also recommend that you incorporate some Kegel exercise with it. Basically, that means that you're squeezing the pelvic floors. The pelvic floor muscles are essentially those muscles that stop you from peeing and pooping. So essentially, all those muscles that you would engage if you need to go to the bathroom, but there's no bathroom immediately around you, those are the muscles that are actually the connection between the abdominal muscles along the front of the abdomen and the spinal muscles that run the length of the spine. So if we don't ever learn how to connect those 2 points, then our core can only be so strong. We've got to definitely start to work on these Kegel exercises to recruit those pelvic floor muscles, because that way then you will get a much stronger reaction of this muscle, but any abdominal exercises that you choose to do and any spinal muscles that you choose to engage through types of movement, you're going to get more bang for your buck. So do take this on board as information to be integrated into your day-to-day patterns of movement. You can practice this, and I'll be talking about this in part 4 next week as my final part, is how to use this muscle just even on a day-to-day basis when you're bending and lifting and twisting. Because this exercise that I'm sharing with you this week is designed for you to take some time out of your busy day, get down onto your hands and knees, get in the trenches and actually start to recruit this muscle through correct breathing. And I give you repetitions and I give you exercise kind of prescription from that video. So do take the time to review it, because I go into a little bit more depth of how to. You can obviously visually see what I'm doing. But again, if there's any questions that you have, please just contact me, info@jasonbarlowrmt.com, or you can just go to my website and reach out to me through my website. And if you haven't already, go get my book, because it's available for free still on my website. You just leave me your email address, I'll send you a digital copy. And in there, I give you my top 3 exercises, my top 3 stretches, my top 3 nutrition recommendations, and my top 3 rest and recovery, as well as my top 3 how to change the mindset to help you achieve more health, happiness, and vitality. It's 15 steps. I've tried to knuckle it down to as small amount of engagement on your side, because I appreciate everybody's busy. There's a plethora of information out there, tons of books, tons of podcasts, tons of people on TV. It's overabundant. But I hope that I'm reaching out to 1 or 2, half a person, doesn't matter. But this message is for those that really take it on board, apply what I'm sharing with you, and then you start to get results. And once you start to get results, you get a taste of it from your own side, then the magic starts to actually play out. So I'm coming from a space of having had application professionally, personally, with what I'm sharing with you. I'm not just randomly seeking things and throwing this out to you. It's tried and tested over and over again. So I hope that you find benefit from this podcast episode today. Thank you very much for your time. Remember, your muscle health is my number one priority. As always, I'm here to help support you in whatever way I can to achieve more health, happiness, and vitality. Take care. Have a great rest of your day.